This is my guy, Rowdy.
Today, we find Mike and Carrie acting on a tip about a special antique car buy that fits the bill on a new project Mike has taken
I
on.
don't know what to expect what part of town we're in here, but...
Oh, wait. Back up. I think I saw something back
Oh!
It's a vintage 1969 Chevy Chevelle
It's pretty
SS.
raggedy right now.
The boys' find isn't what you might call a dream car. In fact, it's more like a nightmare. Half the battle here, maybe just getting the thing back to the shop with all the pieces.
We got it now.
Get along, little doggy. Back at the shop, there's another vintage project on the burner. The boys have a classic GTO to restore, and right about now, there seems to be a problem in the paint prep phase, as the star painter Terry gets an earful from Mike.
Basically what just happened is I got a guy that's got 25 years experience. He's put me in the spray booth 2 times today to paint this car. There's raw Bondo material with no primer on it. Very small spots, but still spots that may be a problem for us when we do it. It's textbook 101. You don't put paint without having primer on it.
Maybe this business isn't as glamorous as it seems on the outside. While Mike gives Terry another crack at the GTO, it's time to get down to business on the Chevelle and strip the body from the frame. No rest for the weary, as Mike gets a new customer who needs attention just as the Chevelle stripping project gets underway.
Yes, sir. How can I help you today?
I need a paint job.
It seems like this classic vet owner thinks a simple paint job will pimp his ride.
You need more than a paint job, buddy.
This looks like a headache the customer may need to think twice about, so Mike gives the customer the bad news about the car and a little bit of an education. This looks like it could be painful to watch.
So you have cracked paint, which somebody tried to already hide a damaged paint job, putting paint over a damaged paint job. So,
Mike knows maybe it's time for this Corvette owner to rethink that paint job. Getting back to the Chevelle is still a priority, so Mike lets the guys start the frame stripping job because he's needed elsewhere.
Signed contract on the Chevelle, we started taking it apart, and I need some parts like ASAP.
Mike has a specialized place where the racing crowd helps him get the big boy jobs ready for the track in his own personal shop.
Right now, John's going to take us over to the engine, explain a little about what kind of engine that we use in this car, and show you the procedure that we're doing today with the engine.
Mike's friend John is a world-class race expert, and John shows us just what's going into one of Mike's latest side projects.
What this is called a height mic tool, and you put it on where the valve spring rides to hold the valve. And what the valve spring basically does is every time the valve opens and closes by this rocker arm, the valve will open the valve, which allows either fuel to go in on the intake or exhaust to go out after it fires and builds power.
But the day's still young, and Mike has to find the rest of the parts for that Chevelle because there's a deadline to meet.
Is the customer want to do upgraded performance part, or are we trying to do OEM parts on this restoration?
We are going to do OEM parts on this restoration, so...
Mike has a lot on his plate. After all, the Chevelle still needs the body removed from the frame.
I was out on the road a lot today, and I was talking to new customers. I have a lot of new potential restoration jobs, and I don't think these guys were doing what they were supposed to be doing today. I just really think that they let me down today, and tomorrow that will not happen. Because if they let me down tomorrow, I'll clean house and I'll start over. I swear I will.
And Mike has to do the precision work with a forklift. It's like threading a needle with a dump truck. But Mike knows how it's done. It looks like the GTO project is not coming along as planned. And Mike has to take charge and get the paint job done. Mixing the paint is a science, and Mike is the master mixologist and chief colorographer in the industry. Suiting up for the job, Mike explains the process.
It's always important to put on a spray suit so the spraying material doesn't enter the pores in your skin.
Mike, let us spray. Mike doesn't get much of a chance to breathe, as there's yet another movie car project in the wings that Mike has to have finished in just one day.
This morning at about 7 o'clock, the movie set of Fern Notice called us up and they said they're sending over 2 Jeeps. They need them back right away, and I said, what was right away? He said, I need them back by the end of the day. Well, one we did was no problem. We're going to put a little accelerator in it to speed up the whole paint process, and we're going to have this back. Actually, both cars back to them probably by about 7:30 tonight. So what that means is we have completely transformed 2 vehicles that were both green. This has all happened in a 10-hour day.
As a busy day draws to a close, Mike meets with the owner of the GTO to get his approval on the paint job. A shop this busy sure could use some more help, and Mike adds a new member to the team next time on